Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. When I began my entrepreneurial journey, I faced a brutal truth that completely changed my perspective on success and personal growth. Nobody was going to show up at my door offering opportunities on a silver platter, and this realization was both liberating and terrifying. For years, I observed people around me waiting for the perfect moment, for divine help, for the magical investor who would solve all problems. But the reality is that this waiting is a dangerous trap. Real transformation begins when you stop expecting others to do for you what only you can do for yourself. As I always say, if not now, when? If not me, who? This simple question revolutionized my approach to life and business. The difference between those who achieve abundance and those who remain stagnant isn't in the available resources, but in the willpower development to assume total responsibility for your results. I discovered that the self-discipline necessary to take control of your own life is like a muscle that needs to be exercised daily through small habits and consistent action. Many people become paralyzed waiting for ideal conditions, but the inconvenient truth is that these conditions rarely appear. During my first years trying to build Alibaba, I faced 1,009 rejections from investors, but each no strengthened me because I knew my success depended entirely on my ability to continue, not on others' approval. The mental resilience I developed during that period became the foundation of everything I achieved later. What intrigues me most is how most people waste mental energy waiting for someone to come save them, when they could channel that same energy into effective goal setting and directed action. I realized that the fear of taking responsibility is actually fear of your own potential, because assuming control also means assuming that you have the power to change your reality. The self-awareness necessary to recognize this pattern is the first step to breaking the cycle of external dependence. When you truly understand that nobody is coming to save you, something powerful happens. You discover internal resources you didn't even know existed. But this discovery is just the beginning of an even deeper journey. The moment I understood that if I didn't fight for my own dreams, I would inevitably work to fulfill someone else's, everything changed in my approach to productivity and time management. This simple idea challenges us to reflect on the control we exercise in our lives and the power we have to shape our destiny. Working for others' dreams isn't necessarily bad, but when it becomes your only reality, you lose the essence of what makes life truly meaningful. I've seen brilliant minds spending their entire lives building someone else's vision while their own dreams slowly fade away. The decision to act on your own aspirations is the first step to transforming thoughts into reality, and this requires both courage and strategic planning. During my early days, I realized that personal development isn't just about acquiring new skills, but about having the boldness to pursue what truly matters to you. Success habits begin to form when you make the conscious choice to prioritize your own vision over the comfort of working for others. The motivation that comes from pursuing your own dreams is incomparable to any external incentive. When you're building something that belongs to you, every obstacle becomes a learning opportunity, every failure a stepping stone. I remember the nights I spent planning Alibaba's future, feeling energized despite exhaustion, because I knew I was investing in my own vision, not just fulfilling someone else's expectations. The most fascinating aspect of this mindset shift is how it transforms your relationship with challenges and setbacks. When you're working toward your own dreams, problems become puzzles to solve rather than insurmountable barriers. Life transformation occurs when you realize that the energy you're investing in someone else's success could be channeled into your own breakthrough. The growth mindset necessary for this transition requires you to believe that your dreams are not only valid, but achievable. Allow yourself to question, what prevents you from starting today? Even without perfect resources, Action is the essential ingredient to achieve your goals, and the time to begin is always now. Throughout my journey, I've observed a fundamental distinction that separates those who achieve abundance from those who remain trapped in scarcity, and it has nothing to do with the money in their bank account. The rich mind finds opportunities and challenges, while the poor mind focuses on limitations and obstacles. This isn't about financial status, but about mental programming and the way we process information about the world around us. The belief that I can transforms obstacles into stepping stones for success, creating a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation. When you develop emotional intelligence to recognize these thought patterns, you gain the power to choose which mental framework will guide your decisions. Contrarily, the poor mind is trapped in excuses, blaming circumstances or other people for their current situation. I've witnessed this pattern countless times. Instead of asking, "How can I solve this?" they ask, "Why is this happening to me?" The difference lies in focus and personal empowerment. When I was rejected by Harvard 10 times, I could have adopted a victim mentality, but instead, I chose to see each rejection as redirection towards something better. The rich mind understands that failure is feedback, not a final verdict. This shift in perspective is what separates those who bounce back stronger from those who give up at the first sign of difficulty. What truly amazes me is how this mental distinction affects every aspect of life, from relationships to career opportunities. The rich mind practices gratitude even in difficult times, understanding that challenges are temporary and serve a purpose in personal growth. They invest in self-improvement and surround themselves with people who elevate their thinking. When you recognize this difference and consciously choose where to invest your mental energy, you're essentially choosing your future. The visualization techniques that successful people use aren't magical thinking, but strategic mental rehearsal for the success they're determined to create. But understanding this difference is just the foundation. One of the most profound realizations in my entrepreneurial journey was understanding that you obtain what you focus your attention on, and this principle governs everything from daily improvement to major life transformations. Thoughts of scarcity attract more scarcity, while thoughts of abundance open doors to the unexpected and create possibilities you never imagined. This isn't mystical thinking, but a practical application of how our brain's reticular activating system works to filter and prioritize information. When I focused on solutions rather than problems, opportunities began appearing everywhere I looked. The power of positive thinking, combined with strategic action, creates a momentum that's almost unstoppable. Reorganizing your mind to think in possibilities rather than limitations becomes the secret to attracting opportunities and developing the resilience necessary for long-term success. I discovered that focus isn't just about concentration, but about training your mind to see potential where others see problems. During the early days of Alibaba, while competitors were complaining about market conditions, I was focused on how to serve customers better. This shift in attention led to innovations that set us apart from everyone else. The discipline required for this mental restructuring is similar to physical exercise. It requires consistent practice and patience, but the results compound over time. The most remarkable aspect of focused action is how it transforms your relationship with time and productivity. When you're truly focused on your goals, you naturally develop better time management skills and become more selective about how you spend your energy. Self-discipline becomes easier because you have a clear direction and purpose guiding your choices. I learned that successful people don't have more hours in their day, they just focus their energy more effectively on what truly matters. The empowerment that comes from this realization is incredible. You suddenly understand that you're not a victim of circumstances, but the architect of your own success. This focused approach creates a foundation for even more powerful transformations. The most dangerous prison isn't made of bars and walls, but of the limiting beliefs we carry in our minds, and breaking free from these mental constraints is perhaps the most important aspect of personal development. Beliefs like, I don't have money, or I'm not capable, sabotage your progress before you even begin to try. During my journey, I discovered a simple but powerful technique. Add "for now" to your limiting statements to open space for growth and possibility. For example, for now I'm without resources, but soon I'll have abundance. This subtle change prepares your subconscious for success and creates mental flexibility where there was once rigid limitation. The transformation of limiting beliefs requires both self-awareness and consistent practice, similar to overcoming any deeply ingrained habit. I realize that most of our self-imposed limitations aren't based on reality, but on past experiences and social conditioning that no longer serve us. When you begin to question these beliefs and replace them with empowering alternatives, you literally rewire your brain for success. The growth mindset necessary for this process involves seeing challenges as opportunities to prove your new beliefs rather than confirmation of your old ones. Visualization techniques become powerful tools in this transformation, allowing you to mentally rehearse success before it manifests in reality. What fascinates me most about belief transformation is how quickly external circumstances begin to change once internal programming shifts. The mental resilience you develop through this process becomes your greatest asset in facing future challenges. I remember the exact moment I stopped believing I'm not good enough for success and started believing I'm exactly what the world needs. That shift didn't just change my business outcomes, it changed my entire relationship with possibility and potential. Continuous learning becomes natural when you believe you're capable of growth and adaptation. The journey of transforming limiting beliefs is ongoing, but each breakthrough creates
During my
momentum for
observations
even
of greater
thousands of entrepreneurs and business people, I noticed a pattern that consistently separated the successful from the struggling. Their relationship with negativity and how they chose to communicate about their circumstances. Most people with a poverty mentality communicate in negative ways, constantly reinforcing their limitations and keeping themselves trapped in cycles of complaint and blame. This negative communication doesn't just affect others around them. It literally programs their subconscious mind for more of the same limitations. I learned early that your words have power not just over others, but over your own future possibilities and mental resilience. The shift to positive and proactive language becomes one of the most practical success habits you can develop, immediately impacting your motivation and energy levels. When I changed how I spoke about challenges, they stopped feeling like insurmountable problems and started feeling like puzzles to solve. Instead of saying, "This is impossible," I trained myself to ask, "How can we make this work?" Your internal dialogue is the first step in molding reality because it shapes how you perceive and respond to every situation. As I often remind myself, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. This philosophy applies perfectly to overcoming negative communication patterns. The most remarkable discovery was how abandoning negativity affected not just my own mindset, but the quality of people and opportunities that came into my life. Positive thinking attracts positive people, and positive people bring positive opportunities. When you stop complaining and start problem solving, you become someone others want to work with and support. The emotional intelligence required to monitor and adjust your communication patterns is a skill that pays dividends in every area of life. I found that gratitude practices naturally replaced negative thinking when I focused on what was working rather than what wasn't. This fundamental shift in perspective creates the foundation for approaching change as an ally rather than an enemy. One of the most liberating realizations in my journey toward abundance was understanding that the past should be a teacher, not an anchor that keeps you stuck in old patterns and limitations. Using experiences as learning opportunities rather than excuses for not advancing requires a level of self-awareness that many people never develop. I've seen brilliant individuals remain trapped in yesterday's failures, using past disappointments as evidence that future success is impossible. This approach not only wastes incredible potential, but creates a mental prison that becomes stronger with each passing day. The key is extracting wisdom from experiences while refusing to let them define your future possibilities. Believing that the future can be different and taking action toward that vision requires both courage and strategic goal setting that focuses on growth rather than repetition. When I faced my early business failures, I had a choice: let them define me or let them refine me. The decision to learn rather than lament changed everything about my approach to challenges and setbacks. Personal growth accelerates when you view every experience as data rather than destiny. The most successful people I know have mastered this ability to mine their past for insights while keeping their energy focused on future possibilities. This balance between wisdom and optimism becomes a powerful foundation for continuous learning. What truly amazes me is how this shift in perspective transforms your relationship with risk and opportunity. When past experiences become teachers rather than judges, you develop the mental resilience necessary to take calculated risks and pursue ambitious goals. You deserve more than just remembering what went wrong. You deserve to create what can go right. The empowerment that comes from this realization is profound because it returns control of your narrative to you. I discovered that overcoming failure isn't about forgetting it, but about integrating its lessons while maintaining belief in your ability to create different outcomes. This foundation of learned wisdom, combined with forward momentum, creates the perfect setup for embracing change as your greatest ally. The relationship between transformation and discomfort became crystal clear to me when I realized that every significant breakthrough in my life required stepping into the unknown and embracing uncertainty. Change demands effort and discomfort, but here's what most people miss. The poor mind avoids challenges, while the rich mind embraces them as opportunities for exponential growth. During the early internet days, many established businesses saw digital transformation as a threat, but I saw it as the greatest opportunity of our lifetime. This perspective shift didn't happen overnight. It required developing mental resilience and training myself to see disruption as invitation rather than invasion. Each change brings new learning opportunities and expands your capacity for handling future challenges with greater confidence and skill. The willpower development necessary for embracing change comes from understanding that discomfort is temporary, but growth is permanent. When you're willing to navigate the turbulent waters of evolution, you discover capabilities you never knew existed within yourself. I remember feeling terrified when we decided to go public with Alibaba, but that fear was actually excitement in disguise. Excitement about the possibilities that lay beyond my comfort zone. The most fascinating aspect of change is how it reveals your true character and strength under pressure. What I find most remarkable about treating change as an ally is how it transforms your entire approach to problem solving and innovation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you start asking, "What is this teaching me?" And "How can I use this?" This shift in questioning immediately empowers you and puts you in control of your response to circumstances. The personal development that occurs through voluntary discomfort far exceeds what you gain from staying safe and comfortable. As I often reflect, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. Dreams give you the strength to embrace necessary changes rather than resist them. But embracing change is just the beginning. It must be coupled with dedicated effort toward your objectives. The uncomfortable truth that many people try to avoid is that successful individuals understand effort is inevitable, and there's no legitimate shortcut for those who genuinely want to grow and achieve meaningful results. During my journey building Alibaba, I quickly learned that while smart work is important, it must be combined with persistent effort and unwavering commitment to your vision. The difference between dreaming about success and actually achieving it lies in your willingness to do what others won't do when they won't do it. This isn't about working yourself to exhaustion, but about developing the self-discipline to consistently take action, even when motivation wavers and obstacles seem insurmountable. The productivity and time management skills that emerge from dedicated effort toward your goals create a compound effect that accelerates your progress over time. I discovered that hard work isn't just about the hours you put in, but about the quality of focus and intention you bring to each task. When you truly commit to your objectives, you naturally develop better systems, more efficient processes, and stronger problem-solving abilities. The personal growth that occurs through sustained effort transforms not just your external circumstances, but your internal sense of capability and confidence. If others can achieve remarkable things, why not you? The only real difference is attitude toward opportunities and willingness to pay the price for success. What continues to fascinate me is how hard work toward meaningful goals becomes energizing rather than draining when you're aligned with your purpose and vision. The motivation that comes from seeing progress towards something you truly care about is unlike any external incentive. Success habits develop naturally when effort is directed toward objectives that genuinely matter to you. The mental resilience built through consistent hard work becomes your greatest asset in facing future challenges and opportunities. I learned that the question isn't whether you'll face difficulties, but whether you'll have developed the strength and skills necessary to overcome them. This foundation of dedicated effort creates the perfect platform for celebrating and learning from others' achievements. One of the most profound shifts in my mindset occurred when I realized that the rich mind draws inspiration from others' triumphs, while the poor mind only complains and finds reasons why others' success is unfair or impossible to replicate. This distinction goes far beyond simple jealousy. It reveals fundamental differences in how people view opportunity and possibility in the world. When you choose to celebrate and learn from others, rather than resent their achievements, you immediately position yourself as someone who believes success is abundant rather than scarce. This shift in perspective opens doors to collaboration, mentorship, and insights that would otherwise remain hidden from you. The attitude of celebration and learning strengthens your capacity to grow and creates positive connections that can transform your entire trajectory. I discovered that successful people are often willing to share their knowledge and insights with those who approach them with genuine appreciation rather than envy or entitlement. Emotional intelligence plays a crucial role here. When you can genuinely celebrate someone else's breakthrough, you signal to the universe and to your own subconscious that you believe such success is possible for you too. The growth mindset required for this approach sees others' achievements as proof of what's possible rather than evidence of what's unavailable to you. What amazes me most about this practice is how it immediately elevates your energy and expands your vision of what's achievable in your own life. When you study successful people with curiosity rather than criticism, you begin to notice patterns, strategies, and principles that you can adapt to your own circumstances. The personal development that comes from this approach is exponential because you're essentially learning from multiple mentors simultaneously. Gratitude practices naturally emerge when you focus on appreciating excellence wherever you find it. This foundation of celebration and learning creates the perfect mindset for developing abundant thinking patterns that attract positive results. The connection between what you believe and what you achieve became undeniably clear to me when I began studying the thought patterns of highly successful individuals versus those who remain stuck in limitation. What you believe influences directly what you accomplish, and thinking in terms of abundance attracts positive results through both psychological and practical mechanisms. When your mind is programmed for abundance, you naturally notice opportunities that others miss, take actions that others avoid, and persist when others give up. This isn't magical thinking. It's strategic mental conditioning that prepares you for success before it arrives in your external circumstances. Training your mind to recognize potential in everything around you becomes a transformative practice that affects every decision and interaction in your life. The visualization techniques that accompany abundant thinking aren't just daydreaming, but mental rehearsal for the success you're determined to create. I learned that successful people don't just think positively, they think strategically about abundance. They see resources where others see limitations, solutions where others see problems, and possibilities where others see obstacles. This shift in perception requires consistent practice and conscious effort, but the results compound exponentially over time. What continues to fascinate me about abundant thinking is how it creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces itself through improved results and expanded opportunities. When you expect good things to happen and prepare accordingly, you're more likely to recognize and act on favorable circumstances when they arise. The self-awareness necessary for maintaining abundant thinking involves monitoring your internal dialogue and consistently choosing empowering interpretations of events. Continuous learning becomes natural when you believe there's always more opportunity and knowledge available to you. The confidence that emerges from this mindset creates the perfect foundation for taking complete responsibility for your outcomes and success. The moment I truly understood that nobody is more committed to my success than I am, everything changed about how I approach challenges, opportunities, and setbacks in both business and life. This realization isn't just philosophical. It's the practical foundation of all achievement and personal transformation. The change begins when you stop blaming external factors and start asking better questions. What can I control? How can I respond differently? What do I need to learn or develop? This shift from victim to victor mentality immediately empowers you and puts you in the driver's seat of your own destiny. Assuming responsibility becomes the first step toward conquering the life you deserve because it places the power of change directly in your hands where it belongs. The personal development that occurs through this mental shift is remarkable. Suddenly, you're no longer waiting for permission, perfect conditions, or someone else's approval to pursue your goals. I discovered that the most successful people in any field share this common trait. They take ownership of their results regardless of circumstances. The self-discipline required for this level of responsibility builds character and creates unshakable confidence in your ability to handle whatever life presents. What amazes me most about personal responsibility is how it transforms problems into opportunities for growth and innovation. When you know that your success depends on your choices and actions, you naturally become more strategic, more resourceful, and more resilient. The empowerment that comes from this mindset is profound because it eliminates the victim mentality that keeps so many people trapped in limitation. Goal setting becomes more meaningful when you know you're the one who will make it happen. Mental resilience develops naturally when you accept that challenges are part of the journey rather than evidence that you're on the wrong path. This foundation of personal responsibility creates the perfect platform for drawing inspiration from others who have overcome similar obstacles. Throughout my journey, I've been consistently inspired by individuals who transformed adversities into victories, proving that success is possible for everyone, regardless of starting conditions or initial circumstances. These stories of triumph serve as powerful reminders that the human capacity for growth and adaptation is virtually unlimited when combined with determination and strategic action. The most compelling aspect of these narratives isn't just the end result, but the transformation that occurs within the person during the struggle. Each obstacle overcome builds character, resilience, and wisdom that becomes invaluable for future challenges. When I study these remarkable journeys, I see patterns of persistence, creativity, and refusal to accept limitation as permanent. The power of these stories lies not just in their inspiration, but in their practical demonstration of principles that can be applied to any situation or circumstance. Personal development accelerates when you realize that every challenge someone else has overcome provides a roadmap for your own journey. I've learned that successful people don't avoid problems. They develop better strategies for solving them. The mental resilience displayed in these stories reveals that setbacks are temporary, while the growth they produce is permanent. What separates those who overcome from those who give up isn't the absence of difficulty, but the presence of unwavering belief in their ability to find solutions. You have the power to become the author of your own remarkable story of transformation and achievement. The same principles that guided others to breakthrough can guide you to your own victory. Continuous learning from these examples creates a library of strategies and inspirations that you can draw upon when facing your own challenges. The most beautiful aspect of overcoming stories is how they prove that your current circumstances don't determine your final destination. When you truly internalize these examples, you develop the confidence to write your own chapter of triumph. But inspiration alone isn't enough. It must be coupled with immediate action in the present moment. Waiting for the perfect moment has become one of the most sophisticated forms of self-sabotage, and I've observed countless brilliant individuals miss extraordinary opportunities while preparing for conditions that never arrive. The truth is that everything you need to begin already exists within your reach, even if it doesn't feel complete or ideal. Perfectionism, disguised as preparation, becomes the enemy of progress and keeps you trapped in an endless cycle of getting ready instead of getting started. During my early entrepreneurial days, I had to make a crucial choice. Wait until I had all the answers, or begin with what I knew and learn the rest along the way. Starting where you are with what you have becomes the most practical approach to achieving any meaningful goal or transformation. The first step is always the most important because it transforms you from someone who thinks about change to someone who creates change. I discovered that momentum builds through action, not through planning, and that clarity comes through doing rather than through endless analysis. Success habits develop naturally when you prioritize progress over perfection and understand that course correction is easier than course creation. The empowerment that comes from taking action despite uncertainty builds unshakable confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes next. What continues to amaze me is how the universe conspires to support those who take action despite imperfect conditions and incomplete information. Opportunities reveal themselves to those who are moving, not to those who are waiting. Time management becomes effortless when you're focused on making progress rather than making excuses. The personal growth that occurs through immediate action far exceeds what you gain from prolonged preparation. Resources, connections, and solutions appear when you're actively pursuing your goals rather than passively hoping for better circumstances. This commitment to present action creates the perfect foundation for building something truly meaningful and lasting. The realization that each small effort contributes to your legacy transformed how I approached every decision and action in both my personal and professional life. Building something meaningful isn't just about grand gestures or revolutionary innovations. It's about the consistent accumulation of purposeful actions that create lasting value. When you think about how your current choices will impact the future, you naturally make better decisions and invest your energy more wisely. The most successful individuals I know operate with this long-term perspective, understanding that today's discipline becomes tomorrow's freedom and today's investment becomes tomorrow's harvest. Creating with purpose and intention requires a level of self-awareness that goes beyond immediate gratification and considers the broader impact of your efforts. I learned that meaningful work energizes you in ways that mere busy work never can, because it connects you to something larger than yourself. The personal development that occurs through purposeful creation is exponential because you're not just building external results, but internal character and capability. Success habits naturally emerge when your actions are aligned with deeper values and long-term vision. The motivation that comes from meaningful work sustains you through challenges that would stop others who are only working for external rewards. What fascinates me most about building meaningfully is how it attracts the right people, resources, and opportunities into your life almost automatically. When your work has genuine purpose, others want to support and participate in your vision. Goal setting becomes more powerful when your objectives serve something beyond personal benefit. The mental resilience required for long-term building develops patience, persistence, and strategic thinking that serve you in every area of life. Continuous learning becomes essential when you're committed to excellence and impact rather than just completion. This foundation of meaningful creation sets the stage for sharing your knowledge and inspiring others to pursue their own significant contributions. The most rewarding discovery in my entrepreneurial journey was understanding that sharing your learning and growth creates a positive impact that extends far beyond your immediate circumstances and multiplies your influence in ways you never imagined. When you share knowledge generously, you don't lose anything. Instead, you gain reputation, relationships, and opportunities that wouldn't exist otherwise. This principle embodies the essence of abundance because it demonstrates that success shared is success multiplied. The act of teaching and inspiring others forces you to clarify your own understanding and often reveals insights you didn't realize you possessed. Becoming a source of inspiration for others represents the highest form of success because it transforms your achievements from personal victories into catalysts for collective growth. The emotional intelligence required for effective sharing involves understanding what others need to hear and how to present information in ways that motivate rather than overwhelm. I discovered that the most fulfilling aspect of building Alibaba wasn't just the business success, but the platform it created for empowering other entrepreneurs and small businesses. When your success becomes a ladder that others can climb, you create a legacy that extends far beyond your own lifetime. The ripple effect of positive influence becomes one of the most powerful forces for creating lasting change in the world around you. Gratitude practices naturally emerge when you realize how much others have contributed to your own success and how important it is to pay that forward. Personal development accelerates when you're not just focused on your own growth, but on helping others grow as well. The connections and relationships that form through generous sharing create networks of mutual support and opportunity. Success that is hoarded diminishes, but success that is shared multiplies exponentially and creates abundance for everyone involved. When you make the conscious choice to inspire others, you step into the highest expression of your potential and purpose.
In a captivating presentation that left audiences worldwide inspired and transformed, Jack Ma delivered one of his most powerful messages about the fundamental shift required to achieve true abundance and lasting success. The co-founder of Alibaba shared profound insights that challenged conventional thinking and revealed the mental barriers that keep millions trapped in cycles of limitation and scarcity. Jack Ma's presentation wasn't just another motivational talk. It was a masterclass in mindset transformation that exposed the critical difference between those who achieve extraordinary results and those who remain stuck despite their best efforts. Throughout his compelling narrative, Jack Ma revealed controversial truths about personal responsibility that many find uncomfortable but absolutely essential for breakthrough success. He challenged the audience's deepest beliefs about waiting for perfect conditions, working for others' dreams, and the dangerous comfort of blaming external circumstances for internal limitations. His candid stories about facing 1,009 rejections while building Alibaba demonstrated that the path to abundance requires embracing discomfort as an ally rather than avoiding it as an enemy. The presentation included practical strategies for transforming limiting beliefs, with Jack Ma's signature technique of adding "for now" to negative statements, a simple but revolutionary approach that reprograms the subconscious mind for success. The most shocking revelation came when Jack Ma exposed how most people unconsciously sabotage their own progress through negative communication patterns and scarcity thinking that literally programs their brain for more limitation. He shared the exact mindset differences between what he calls rich mind and poor mind, proving that abundance isn't about money in your bank account, but about the mental programming that either attracts opportunities or repels them. His insights into the power of focused action revealed why some people achieve extraordinary results with limited resources while others struggle despite having every advantage. Perhaps the most transformative moment occurred when Jack Ma discussed the critical importance of taking complete personal responsibility for your outcomes, sharing his philosophy that nobody is more committed to your success than you are. He provided a roadmap for abandoning the victim mentality that keeps people trapped and embracing the victor mindset that creates breakthrough results. The presentation included specific strategies for celebrating others' success instead of resenting it, transforming your relationship with change from enemy to ally, and building something meaningful that creates lasting impact beyond personal gain. The session concluded with Jack Ma's most powerful insights about sharing knowledge and inspiring others as the ultimate expression of true abundance, proving that success shared is success multiplied. His examples from building one of the world's largest e-commerce platforms demonstrated how generous sharing creates networks of opportunity and influence that extend far beyond individual achievement. For anyone serious about transforming their mindset and creating extraordinary results, this presentation offers the exact blueprint used by one of the world's most successful entrepreneurs to build lasting abundance and meaningful success. The transformation you've just witnessed through Jack Ma's profound insights isn't meant to remain as mere inspiration. It's designed to become the foundation of your new reality. Every principle shared, from taking personal responsibility to embracing change as your ally, requires immediate application to create the breakthrough results you deserve. The question isn't whether these strategies work. Jack Ma's journey from facing 1,009 rejections to building a global empire proves their effectiveness. The question is whether you'll have the courage to implement them starting today, right now, in this very moment. I challenge you to choose one limiting belief you identified during this presentation and apply Jack Ma's technique of adding "for now" to transform it into a statement of future possibility. Which of his mindset shifts resonated most powerfully with your current situation? Was it the realization that nobody will do it for you, the importance of working for your own dreams, or perhaps the power of abundant thinking? Take action on that insight within the next 24 hours. Make one phone call, send one email, or take one concrete step that moves you closer to your goals. Your journey toward abundance and extraordinary success begins the moment you stop consuming information and start applying transformation. Don't let this powerful knowledge become another interesting video you watched. Let it become the catalyst that changed everything about how you approach your life and dreams. Which principle will you implement first, and how will you measure your progress? The rich mind that Jack Ma described takes immediate action, while the poor mind makes excuses. Which one will you choose to embody? Share in the comments below which insight from Jack Ma's presentation hit you the deepest and how you plan to apply it in your life. Come back to this video whenever you need a reminder of your true potential and the mindset required to achieve it. Your future self will thank you for taking action today rather than waiting for perfect conditions that never arrive. If you found this content valuable and transformative, subscribe to our channel now. You might not find us again if you don't take this simple action today. Hit that notification bell to continue learning from the world's most successful entrepreneurs and thought leaders. The next video appearing on your screen contains even more breakthrough strategies that will accelerate your journey toward the abundant life you deserve. Click it now and continue building the mindset that creates extraordinary results.